The second section was starting from ayah number 13, and this is another way of explaining the same fact of Iman, of faith. The fact that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, was sent to people to teach and to deliver Allah's message is emphasized through history. From ayah number 13, to talk about the prophets and messengers sent to the nations and people in the past. وَضْرِبْ لَهُمْ مَثَلًا أَصْحَابَ الْقِيلَةِ إِذْ جَاءَهَا الْمُرْسَلُونَ. Now, give them this parable, this example of the town to which Allah sent messengers. Now, this example is given for two reasons. Number one, to be a reminder and lesson for the people of Makkah and other people who are opposing and rejecting and denying the messengers. And it is also a moral support and example for the Prophet ﷺ himself, that look, you are not new. You are in the chain of messengers, Mursalun. If you look a little back, in the beginning of Surah, we also said, إِنَّكَ لَمِنَ الْمُرْسَلِينَ, ayah number 3. You are from the messengers. The example of this messenger in ayah number 15 were also sent in the past. You are not alone on this path. So it is also a lesson and a moral support for the Prophet ﷺ. Now, two messengers were sent to them in the same time. And the linguistic note that we took there was in أَرْسَلْنَا إِلَيْهِمُ اثْنَيْنِ فَكَذَّبُوهُمَا. They were sent to the city, but the city people are mentioned in the beginning, but in the middle of the ayah it says إِذْ جَاءَهَا. When the messengers were sent to the city, that means the concern was about the entire city at that time and in the coming generations. Not only that generation present. And another lesson and another linguistic meaning is إِذْ جَاءَهَا. Prophets came to them. They didn't wait somewhere outside in the cave or outside in a village for people to come and learn. They went and taught people and invited people and called people. So this is a lesson for all who work for the deen, who wants to share. They should not wait for people to come to them. They should go wherever they can, wherever function, wherever place they can go and deliver the message. That should be their mission. In أَرْسَلْنَا إِلَيْهِمُ اثْنَيْنِ, two were sent, فَكَذَّبُوهُمَا. They were rejected. فَعَزَّزْنَا بِثَالِثٍ. فَعَزَّزْنَا, that Allah says, we reinforced and we supported them بِثَالِثٍ, with the third one. فَقَالُوا, together in one voice, because one message, they said, إِنَّا إِلَيْكُمْ مُرْسَلُونَ. This is the third time the word Mursalun is used. Once in ayah number 3, then one number 13, and now 14, and more coming. That means we are not talking from our own selves. We have been sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our Lord, the Master. فَقَالُوا إِنَّا إِلَيْكُمْ مُرْسَلُونَ. We have been sent to you, إِلَيْكُمْ. Now, فَعَزَّزْنَا, it doesn't say فَعَزَّزْنَاهُمَا. Those who know some Arabic, that we supported them, we strengthened those two prophets with a third one. The idea is to strengthen the message, to strengthen the call, to support the call. Whoever that person may be, you should work together and work for the message, for the mission, not for the person. So personality, whoever he may be, what name, what title, but the point is what message is delivered, what call is made. فَعَزَّزْنَا doesn't say فَعَزَّزْنَاهُمْ or فَعَزَّزْنَاهُمَا. It says فَعَزَّزْنَا. We reinforce that. قَالُوا مَا أَنْتُمْ إِلَّا بَشَرٌ مِثْلُنَا. Now they didn't have an argument to come and refute the prophets, to put a rebuttal to the call of the prophets. They just came with tactics to scare them. The first tactic, مَا أَنْتُمْ إِلَّا بَشَرٌ مِثْلُنَا. It's just like men like us. We would expect like angels to come and teach us. Some superstitious creature to come and teach. You are just men like us, eating, drinking, living, walking, going to marketplace and everything just like us. Why should we listen to you? بَشَرٌ مِثْلُنَا وَمَا أَنزَلَ الرَّحْمَنِ. And that Rahman that you are calling, which was mentioned in ayah number 4, Tanzil al-Aziz al-Rahim, Rahman, Rahim. that Rahman has not sent anything. Another understanding is that they were idol worshippers. They were associating with Allah, but they still believed in God. They were making only shirk with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, association with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they said, you are liars. قالوا, they said, رَبُّنَا يَعْلَمُ. Now they take oath by Allah. رَبُّنَا يَعْلَمُ إِنَّا إِلَيْكُمْ لَمُرْسَلُونَ. Allah knows definitely, لَمُرْسَلُونَ. By Allah, we are from the messenger. We are sent. Now they are not turning back and cursing them. Hey, how can you reject our call? You will be cursed. You will be accusing them and calling them names and things. But they are turning to the main point of, yes, we have been sent by Allah. Now, what this means, and we will see in the argument later on, the prophets never ever resorted to same tactics, same foul language, same abuse, same mental and verbal abuse or physical abuse at all. They kept true to their message with dignity, with gentleness, and with truthfulness, with integrity. They said, قَالُوا رَبُّنَا يَعْلَمُ إِنَّا إِلَيْكُمْ لَمُرْسَلُونَ. Allah, our Master, knows we are from the messengers. So the lesson is, when we teach, even our own kids, we should not, or family or anybody else, we should not resort to harshness. We should keep our posture. We should keep our temper. They never got out of their temper, and they kept that quiet and gentle manner. Allah knows we are messengers from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Meaning, this message is nothing to do with me. That doesn't benefit me personally. It is a message from Allah to benefit you. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ الْمُبِينَ. And our job is nothing, our role is nothing, there is nothing upon our shoulders, alayna, and our shoulders, illa al-balagh, except conveying, delivering. What? Al-balagh al-mubin. A message that is guiding you to your destination, al-mubin, and it is absolutely clear. We stopped right there last time. So al-mubin means it is something bayan. Bayan means something that is separating good from bad, right from wrong, just like Quran. But mubin means a speech, a message that is absolutely clear and unambiguous. Another lesson for all of us: when we speak to someone, we should come up with clear proofs and evidences and good arguments, not just coming up with unsubstantial and unestablished things. Now, another tactic. That was the first tactic, that you say you are just men like us, you are liars, and Allah has not sent anything, and we don't accept you. The second tactic, you know what? All the suffering that we are going through, it is all because of you. And the books of tafsir, the books of the explanation, they say that they were going through drought for many years. And all the calamities and issues that they were going through, they blame the prophets and messengers for that. You are the cause of all this trouble that we are going through. You are bad omen. Now, in Arabic language, ta'ir means a bird. And in the past, they used to see some birds, and as soon as they see a particular bird, and they will say, this is a bad omen. Now, in Islam, bad omen is absolutely haram. You should not take any bad omen. Like if you see some certain thing and you say, this is a bad sign. There is no bad sign in Islam. You can take good omen, by the way. When you are doing something and you see a person coming, oh, this is a good man. And the fact that I saw him, inshallah, what I'm doing is good, is right. But bad omen is not allowed in Islam. So these people said, they said, Inna tatayyarna bikum. We're taking bad omen in you. You are the cause of all these troubles. And even today, people say, the immigrants are all causing the trouble. And such community, such and such race, such and such people, such and such color. That is all wrong and bad according to Islam. Inna tatayyarna bikum. We are taking bad omen in you. La illam tantahu. That's the fourth threat now. So far, verbal abuse. Calling them liars, calling them you are not from God, calling them that all the calamities and troubles and issues that we are going through is because of you. Finally, they come to physical threats. If you don't stop your call, if you don't stop calling us to worship one God alone, then what will you do? Illam tantahu. If you don't stop what you are doing, lanarjumannakum, we will stone you. Now, larjumanna has several meanings. One basic linguistic meaning is when you throw pebbles at people and stone them. Another meaning is to injure and outright kill someone. That all three meanings are in the word lanarjumannakum. And it also means we will just throw you out of our community. We will just, like we will say shaitan al-rajim, right? A'udhu billahi minash shaitan al-rajim. Shaitan was thrown out of the mercy of Allah. He was not injured, he was not tortured, he was not, pebbled, but he was thrown out of his status. Lanarjumannakum, now we will throw you out, we will expel you from our community, from this town. Killing, torturing, throwing you out, all of this are embedded in the meaning of lanarjumannakum. Now this is a physical threat. They are threatening all three of them with that type of severe punishment. وَلَيَمَسَّنَّكُم مِّنَّا عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. And definitely a very painful, a painful punishment will be inflicted. يَمَسَّنَّكُم, meaning it will be inflicted on you, minna, from our side, adabun, punishment, alim, very painful. You won't be able to imagine what type of punishment we are going to inflict on you. This is the type of threats. Now, this didn't happen in a day or 2 or 5 or a year. Some books mention that they were working over 10 years and slowly coming with different ways, different venues, different places, and still they were faced with such strong opposition by the people of their town. Now, when they said you are a bad omen and all the bad stuff happening to us is because of you, first of all, we should not tell anyone what is happening to me or to the community or the family because of you. Bad omen is wrong. The prophets didn't turn back and say, you know what, you are the bad omen. You are calling us by the bad omen, you say not, you are the bad omen. The prophets don't say that. They say, they said, this, if you look at the ayah before this, verse number 18, the people of the town said, bikum. It is coming from you. But here it says, ta'irukum ma'akum. Keep it with you. Whatever accusation you are throwing at us, ma'akum, it is with you. Keep it there. It's not us who are causing this. We are not bad omen. Keep that thoughts with you. Don't accuse us of that thing. In the kirtam, only if you could learn. In the kirtam, tadhkir, or be reminded. Only if you could be reminded. Only if you could learn. That is the implication of the word kirtam. Only if you could understand. We are not the cause of any of these issues and bad omens. Bal antum qawmun musrifun. The fact is that you are a people musrifun. Musrifun means israf. We use this in many other Eastern languages too. Israf means when you do extravagant things, when you go out of limits, when you cross the limit in anything, spending or wasting something, being wasteful. But here it means when you are transgressors. Bal antum qawmun musrifun. First, you rejected us. You can reject someone by saying, you know what, I'll hurt you, but I don't agree with you. That's it. That's the first level of rejection. Second level of rejection is, I don't agree with you, but you are a liar. You are fake. And that's a second level of rejection. Third, when they abuse them, call them bad names and bad omens and this. And fourth, when they come out and threaten them physically. So they said, "Bal antum qawmun musrifun." The Prophet said, "You are transgressors. You cross all these limits of rejection. You didn't only reject, but you are coming up with all these threats. So musrifun, you are transgressors. You are crossing all limits." Now, the story of a very, very interesting person. Ayah number 20. An unknown man, a person who came from the far side of the city. First, Qarya was mentioned, that they were in the town, in one side of the city. But now from all the way the outskirts of the big city, and a man came. That man is not mentioned. The identity is not known. We don't know who that person was. And it is not mentioned in the hadith or in the Quran. But some tafsir, some history books mention that his name was Habib al-Najjar. Habib, a person who named Habib, and he was a carpenter. And he was just an ordinary simple man, not a famous man, not someone who was known in the community financially or socially or politically or any other way. If you remember a few ayahs before, there is a lot of link between the ayat back and forth. When the Prophet ﷺ was told that call people, remind them, and somewhere one lone person may listen, and he may accept, he may follow. You know, إِنَّمَا تُنذِرُ مَنِ اتَّبَعَ الذِّكْرَ, ayah number 11, if you can reference. إِنَّمَا تُنذِرُ مَنِ اتَّبَعَ الذِّكْرَ وَخَشِيَ الرَّحْمَنِ. When you call and talk and teach, somewhere one person may listen and may follow and understand. This one guy from the far side of the city had heard of the messengers and had accepted their call. And now he heard that the people are threatening the prophets and messengers in different ways, and abusing them and accusing them of many different things. And he came from all the way there to the defense of the messenger. First, to support them in their call, and to try to see if he can be of any help in delivering the message. Now, teachers, professors, or clergy, or anyone who is talking and delivering a message, that has one effect. But if someone from among the community, from the crowd, from the masses, they come out and talk and help and remind, that has a different effect. That has more personal, more internal effect. So this person was one of the people of the city, and he accepted the call of the messengers, and he came. وَجَاءَ, and came. مِنْ أَقْصَى الْمَدِينَةِ, from the far side, Aqsa, from the outskirts of the city. رَجُلٌ, one unknown person. رَجُلٌ. Now, if it was al-rajul with alif lam, that would be a known person, already introduced person. But here it says rajulun, an unknown person, came yas'a. And his coming was not simple. He was yas'a, he was running. He was coming with a lot of, he was coming with rush to come to the defense and the help of the messengers. Qala, he said, Ya qawmi, O my people, ittabi'u, follow al-mursaleen, these messengers. Al-mursaleen, these three messengers that are sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, follow them. Now, he came from the very far side of the city. Now, look at some of the linguistic notes in the Quran. There is another ayah, it says, وَجَاءَ مِنْ أَقْصَى الْمَدِينَةِ. This ayah says, مِنْ أَقْصَى الْمَدِينَةِ رَجُلٌ يَسْعَى. Another ayah says, وَجَاءَ رَجُلٌ مِنْ أَقْصَى الْمَدِينَةِ. That's a different surah, a different story, a different city. The difference is, if you say, وَجَاءَ مِنْ أَقْصَى الْمَدِينَةِ, I don't know if all will get this, but this is Arabic, some deep linguistic notes. وَجَاءَ مِنْ أَقْصَى الْمَدِينَةِ. This guy came physically, literally from far side of the city, running all the way, maybe miles he was walking and running to come to the help of the prophets. If you say وَجَاءَ رَجُلٌ مِنْ أَقْصَى الْمَدِينَةِ, if you put رَجُلٌ, the man, before, that means that man was from the far side of the city, but it doesn't necessarily mean at that time he came from there. He was a resident of that place, but maybe he was right around the place where the prophets and messengers had an argument and call and discussion with people. So that doesn't take a lot of effort. You are from that place, but at the moment you may have been somewhere close. So you didn't put a lot of effort to come. But this guy, he was not from here, and he came from the far side of the city, and he put a lot of effort to come there. Ya intabi'ul mursaleen, follow these messengers. Ittabi'u. He continues to give them more explanation and reasons why they should follow. Why they should follow the prophets. These are the reasons why they should listen to the prophets. Ittabi'u, follow. Man, that person, la yas'alukum, that is not asking you, ajran, any return. The messengers are not there to ask for money, to ask for favors. They are calling, they are delivering the message of God without expecting any return. Now, this guy is now telling them one of the greatest characteristics of the prophets. Look, what good is it for the prophets if you follow or you don't follow? They're not going to benefit in any way. They're not asking for any return. Why don't you follow them and see if that can be, if they are on truth? Ajran wa hum muhtadun. The third reason that he gives to the people is, and they are guided, muhtadun. They are on the guidance. They are not asking for anything, and they are rightly guided. Why don't you follow them? Now he turns to himself. Instead of scolding people, and this is a wonderful, wonderful way of putting out a message. You don't target people. You don't judge them. This guy is now turning to himself. What happens if I don't follow these messengers? He is talking to himself. But indirectly, he is talking to the people. What if I don't follow these messengers? What will happen to me? Meaning, hey, I'm following. But if you are not following, remember what will happen to you. وَمَا لِيَ, and what will be my consequence? لَا أَعْبُدُ, if I don't worship الَّذِي, the one, فَطَرَنِي, who has created me. Now, he's not talking to them. What will happen to you if you don't worship your creator? No, he's talking to himself. Hey, I myself am convinced that I am created by God and I have to worship him alone. فَطَرَنِي. Fatara means who has created me, who has brought me into being. وَإِلَيْهِ تُرْجَعُونَ. And now he turned back to the people. Look at this back and forth. When it comes to a little harshness, he is turning to himself. When it comes to some mild reminder, he calls people. وَإِلَيْهِ تُرْجَعُونَ. And in the end, you will all return to him, to the Creator. So why shouldn't I follow? وَمَا لِيَ. Why will not I worship that God who has created me? And the fact is that we all will go back to him in the end. أَأَتَّخِذُ مِن دُونِهِ. He talks to himself again. أَأَتَّخِذُ. Should I take مِن دُونِهِ, under, beneath, besides Allah, beside my Creator? He refers to the Creator. آلِهَةً, other gods. Aliha is plural, because in those days they were worshipping different gods of many different natural phenomena. Alihatan. Should I be taking besides Allah other gods? Now this is, like I said, the indirect way of telling them you should not take other gods besides Allah, besides the Creator, besides our Master. In yuridni rahmanu bidurrin. In case, yuridni, there is a ya here, yuridni, which refers to himself, but the Arabic language structure is when usually the ya, the letter ya that refers to the speaker is omitted, and the kasra, the tashkil, the kasra, the vowel underneath the na, the ya, the noon replaces that ya. It means If Allah, Ar-Rahman, if Allah, the Rahman, wills and decides for me بضر, any harm, لا تغني عني شفاعتهم. These gods that are worshipped will not benefit. لا تغني, they will not benefit. شفاعتهم, their intercession. If God Almighty wants any harm or has decided any calamity, these gods will not help. These statues, these idols will be of no avail, no benefit. Shay'an, anything at all whatsoever. وَلَا يُنْقِذُونَ, and they will not be saving me. They will not be protecting me. Inqadh. Inqadh means when you are in absolute big trouble and you need someone to just rescue you. La yunqidun, they cannot rescue me. He is talking to himself. If I'm in trouble, what will these stones, these statues, the idol do to me? Can they benefit? Can they rescue me and save me from calamities and hardships? Inni idhan lafi dhalalin mubin. Indeed, I, idhan, in that case, if I worship anyone or anything besides God, idhan, I will be lafi, definitely in dhalalin mubin, in a clear and open misguidance. I will be lost. Dalal, the literal meaning is when you are lost, when you don't have a sense of direction. So that means if I follow or obey and worship anyone besides Allah, I will be in a clear, open misguidance. Now he declares his iman. He declares, emphasizes and repeats his belief in me. Indeed, I, amantu, I have believed birabbikum, in your Lord. Now back to the people. Hey, why don't you believe? It's your Rabb too, your master, your Lord, your caretaker. Rabb is a very interesting word. Rabb in English doesn't have one single meaning, word to explain. It's not just Lord, it means master, the one who takes care of you, the one who nurtures you, the one who looks after. That's all embedded and included in the word Rabb. The one who lets you grow physically, mentally, spiritually, in every way. So I believe in your master, in your Rabb. Fasma'un, listen to me. All these noons, you read the knee, is ayat 23 there? You read the knee before Rahman, if you can read Arabic, there is a ya there. If Allah wants me any harm, the end of ayah, la yunqiduni, these idols will not help me and rescue me at all. Now if you come back to 25, the end of 25, fasma'uni, listen to me. Listen, what I'm saying is true. Follow and obey. And all of a sudden, this whole episode, this whole, if you will, scenario is turned completely to a different track. Look at 26. The guy is told, enter Jannah, enter paradise. What happened? Now, Quran is a book that is extremely precise and brief. It doesn't go into all minute details of a story. So it says, Qila, he was told, Udkhul, enter al-Jannah, the paradise. If you are still alive on the earth, you are not told such thing. What happened here? They killed him. As soon as he called, he supported the prophets, he stood up to his faith, and they came around and killed him. And as soon as he died, qila, he was told, and qila is, he was told, udkhul, enter al-Jannah, paradise. Because of his stance in iman and faith and strength, he was directly entered into paradise. Qala. Now, in paradise, he made it, right? He would have said, oh, good. I'm happy, I'm relaxed. These damn people, they didn't listen to me. I wish them this and this and that. No, even in paradise, he's thinking about his people. Even there, he is not cursing his people. Even there, he is looking for the good of his people. He says, Qala, he says, Ya layta, I wish, qawmi, that my people, ya'lamun, they could know. I wish they know what happened to me, where I ended, how I was treated right after my death. I wish they knew what happened to me. So this teaches us we should always be wishing good for people, even if we are mistreated, especially in terms of calling people towards good things, Islam and a good way. Even if we are mistreated, even if we are rejected, even if we are not, called names, but we still wish people good. And just like this person, this Sahib Yasin, this Habib al-Najjar, Ya layta qawmi, that he said, I wish. This is Ya layta is a word that you have a regret in yourself inside. That my people had known what? The next ayah says, I wish my people knew this. Number 27. بِمَا غَفَرَ لِي رَبِّي وَجَعَلَنِي مِنَ الْمُكْرِمِينَ. How Allah forgave me. And look at his humbleness. He's not bragging. He's not boasting. He's not saying, hey, because of my actions, because of my good deeds, because I stood for my iman, because I lost my life in Allah's cause, I was entered to Jannah. No, he says no, because of Allah, because God forgave me, because God put me into paradise. بِمَا غَفَرَ لِي رَبِّي, because of that which my Rabb, my Master, forgave me, because of the forgiveness that I received, Rabbi, from my Master, وَجَعَلَنِي مِنَ الْمُكْرَمِينَ, and what Allah, the Almighty, made me of honorable people. Mukrameen, the last word, in 27 means a person of honor and dignity and respect. So I was treated as a dignified, respected person. Min al-Mukrameen. I wish my people knew how I was treated so they could learn and understand and follow. وَمَا أَنزَلْنَا عَلَىٰ قَوْمِهِ مِن بَعْدِهِ. Now this guy died for the cause of their calling people to faith and to believe in God alone, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, their master. Allah says, after he passed away, we did not need a big army to destroy that people. Now remember, in the people of the past, the nations, for years and years, probably generations, prophets and messengers used to come. They used to abuse them and torture them, even kill them. Many prophets were killed. And eventually, a lot of them were annihilated. A lot of them were taken out. So the same thing happened to this city, to this place. And Allah said, I did not need a big army to come and destroy them. I didn't even need angels to come and take them out. Like in some cases happened, the people of Lut alayhi salam and others. Just a big, huge, loud noise was enough to take them out. And that's what happened to these people. وَمَا أَنزَلْنَا, and we did not send down عَلَى قَوْمِهِ, on the people of this guy, this man, مِن بَعْدِهِ, after him, after he passed away, مِن جُندٍ, any army. We didn't send any army. مِنَ السَّمَاءِ, from above, وَمَا كُنَّا مُنزِلِينَ, and we were not going to send anybody. We were not going to send anyone. They are not even worthy of any army to be sent down to be destroyed. In Kanat, it wasn't. In Kanat, this in is nafiya, means it wasn't illa, except sayhatan wahida, a very extremely loud noise, and a very big loud cry. Sayhatan wahida, a mighty blast, and that took them in awe and shock. They say a very powerful and loud noise destroys more than even physical bombs and things. Wahida. One quick, loud blast. Nothing else. Just wahida, one. And this shows Allah's power. This shows the army and the weapons in the arsenal of Allah. That He has in His power the wind, the sound, the lightning, whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can use as His army. فَإِذَا هُمْ خَامِدُونَ. And all of a sudden. فَإِذَا, this means, in Arabic language it's called إِذَا فُجَائِيَّة. All of a sudden. Abruptly. They were not warned. There was no pre-warnings. There was no alarms. All of a sudden. These people, خَامِدُونَ. They were put off. Now khamada, the word khamada, khamidun, when there is a big fire and the fire is put off very quick, all of a sudden. You know, in Gulf War, when the oil fields, oil wells were caught fire, they used to have a big, gigantic, vessels, and they would throw it on the well, and it would just the fire would be put off. So these people were just like a very, very gigantic big fire, enraging fire, and that fire was all of a sudden put down. So all their opposition, all their strong opposition and strong standing against the prophets and their life and everything was put down. They had nothing left behind. Ya hasratan ala al-ibad. Now this is a statement of sorrow and regret on these people. And on people in general. On human beings in general. Ya hasratan. Oh, sorrow and regret ala al-ibad. On all people. Ma ya'tihim min rasulin. No messenger comes to them illa kanu bihi yastahzi'un. Except that they make fun of them. They reject, not only reject in a normal, gentle manner, but they start to make fun of them, and like we just learned about the people of that city, and they started to threaten them and make a lot of different types of accusations and things. That this is a regretful and sorrowful situation for people. When messengers come, kanu bihi yastahzi'un. They are making fun of them. Alam yaraw kam ahlakna qablahum. Now remember, we said there are many ways of learning. One way of learning is to look at the history. What happened to the people of the past. Alam yaraw. Don't they see? Don't they see? Now we don't see the history, but we study. We learn from history. And the facts and the lessons taken from history is just like you saw something. Alam yaraw. Don't they see? Kam ahlakna qablahum. How many of them ahlakna, we destroyed qablahum min al-qurun. Before this, min al-quruni, from the generations. Qarn means a century. Qurun, centuries. But it also means generations. Many generations of people in the past. Annahum ilayhim la yarji'un. And the fact is that those people of the past do not return now to the current and present time to tell them and remind them, hey guys, this is what happened to us. But the history is teaching and telling us this is what happened to the people in the past. So one way to learn and follow and obey and worship Allah, God the Almighty alone, is to look at the history. وَإِن كُلُّ لَمَّا جَمِيعٌ لَدَيْنَا مُحْضَرُونَ. And indeed, kullun, all of them, together, jami'an, to all of them, all people of the past and the present and the future, ladaina, to us, muhdarun, will be brought, will be presented. Hadara, yahduru, means when you are present in some place. But muhdarun means they will be brought to be present in front of Allah for accountability. Ayah number 33 starts the third section, and this turns our attention to physical phenomena in the universe, in the world. First, we learn from the wahi, from the revelation. The Quran is the book of Allah, and it makes it absolutely clear that the Messenger ﷺ is a prophet of God, and this book is full of wisdom and is well netted, and it has all the injunctions and rules. Then we learn about the history of that city, and inshallah next week we will start section number 3 from ayah 33 to learn from our surroundings, from nature, from everything that is there around us. In the end of Surah Fussilat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, سَنُرِيهِمْ آيَاتِنَا فِي الْآفَاقِ وَفِي أَنفُسِهِمْ. We will definitely show them, سَنُرِيهِمْ آيَاتِنَا, our signs of existence, our sign of oneness, our sign of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's control. فِي الْآفَاقِ, in the horizons, in everything that is there in the universe. وَفِي أَنفُسِهِمْ, and inside themselves. حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ, until it is absolutely clear to them أَنَّهُ الْحَقُّ, that He is true, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is true. So from next lesson, section 3, ayah 33, we will learn a new, different type of explanation and putting out the argument in terms of learning lessons to believe in God and follow the messengers. We will stop here, and we have about 12 minutes for any questions in today's lesson or the one before, or anything regarding this surah or anything else, inshallah. Linguistically or lessons. On the roof, any question? Comment, explanation, correction?
The noon with the kasra, can you explain?
Not everywhere,
Uh-huh.
but some you can tell only from the context, from the word, especially when it's a verb. ينقذون, يريدني, all of these are verbs, and the brevity in English and Arabic language makes it to make it short in wording, they remove the ya and just leave the kasra, the e sound, yuridni, and that means yuridni, the ya is there. The same thing with fasma'uni, listen to me, yunqidun. These are some of the verbs, and it mostly occurs in present and future tense, not in past tense, mostly.